Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to turn that pile of research into clear, usable knowledge for you. Today, we're tackling a really common goal: body transformation. Specifically, how to get real results in just 4 weeks. And here's the kicker: no equipment, no gym fees, right from home. We're digging into a program that promises some pretty serious change.
Yeah, it's super relatable. The sources we looked at really highlight this frustrating cycle people get stuck in. Jumping from diet to diet, spending money on gear, supplements, and then feeling wiped out with, well, not much to show for it. It's often just too complicated. So our mission today: let's unpack a simple, functional way to tone up, burn fat, build strength, using basically the best tool you already own: your own body.
Okay, so the big promise then is real change, stuff you can actually see and feel in 1 month, all through home workouts that are actually doable. But I gotta ask, 4 weeks, that sounds intense, like prime territory for burnout, right? Does the research talk about that?
That's a fair point. And it's really the core difference here compared to, say, a crash diet or something extreme. The sources stress that a 4-week push like this only works if the effort itself is simple, integrated. See, the philosophy isn't about absolutely destroying yourself every day. It's consistency. That's the key. And consistency comes from having a low barrier to entry. If you don't need equipment, if you don't need to travel, you remove the friction. Success isn't about crazy volume. It's about showing up consistently for these simple, effective exercises.
Okay. So the simplicity makes it easier to be frequent, and that frequency is what drives the faster results. Makes sense. So it's not just saving cash, it's about actually fitting it in, like a lunch break workout, or while the pasta boils.
Exactly. Which brings us to, well, the main hurdle the sources identify: finding that time and motivation. It doesn't just magically appear, right? The plan acknowledges that starting is often mentally harder than actually doing the workout. So the focus has to be on making that first step tiny, almost effortless. Start with 5 minutes, build the habit, the results follow.
Okay, let's shift from the why to the what, the actual exercises, these body weight staples, starting with the plank, king of the core. Looks so simple until you're actually holding it and watching the seconds crawl by.
Right. That feeling of time stretching. That's why it's so effective for quick change. And we're not just talking abs here. It's comprehensive: core, glutes, shoulders, chest, plus that mental challenge. The sources suggest aiming for maybe 3 sets per session, focusing on holding it longer, not rushing, time under tension. It's efficient.
And technique is everything with the plank. I noticed the source material had this really specific cue. Something about pulling your belly button in like you're zipping up tight pants. Why focus so much on that one image?
Because that single cue, that's the difference between just, hanging on your joints and actively engaging your deep core. That zipping up engages the transverse abdominis, your body's natural corset. It stabilizes your spine, protects your back, and makes sure every second counts. And once you nail the basic plank, the sources suggest moving on. Dynamic planks, maybe knee taps or side planks, build on that foundation.
Okay, moving up the body, the push-up. Old, reliable for hitting the chest, triceps, shoulders with just your body weight. We all know what it is, but how does it fit into this specific 4-week plan strategically?
Well, the push-up proves you don't need fancy machines for strength. But yeah, using it strategically means thinking about variation. For rapid results, you need to challenge the muscles safely. So, beginners, absolutely start on your knees or even against a wall. Get the form right first. That's way more important than banging out sloppy reps. The sources are clear on that.
So if someone starts on their knees, how fast should they aim to progress to a full push-up in this 4-week window?
Good question. The authors kind of suggest aiming for maybe week 2.5, week 3, using negative push-ups as a bridge. So lowering down slowly from the full position, then using knees to push back up, builds that strength. And for people already comfortable with standard push-ups, then you look at explosive stuff, clap push-ups maybe, or changing hand positions. Really ramps up the intensity quickly.
Got it. Okay, upper body, core stability, check. Now, full body functional movement, lower body powerhouse, the squat. Always effective, right? Legs, glutes, boosting metabolism.
Oh, absolutely. The squat is non-negotiable if you want quick results. It uses the biggest muscles, so you burn more calories even after you're done working out. But again, form is crucial for getting that benefit safely. The classic cue works best. Imagine sitting back into an invisible chair. Weight back, chest up, full range of motion controlled, depth over speed.
And we've used this term functional fitness a few times. What does that actually mean for someone following this plan?
Functional fitness basically means training movements you use in real life, not just isolating muscles. It's building strength that helps you lift groceries, pick up your kids, climb stairs without getting winded, which leads perfectly to the next move, which is very functional, the functional lunge twist.
Okay, that sounds like it pulls a lot together, almost like a dance move, like the sources described it.
It does feel a bit like that. And that's the point. You get huge full body engagement. It's the lunge for the lower body plus torso rotation. So it challenges your balance, your core stability, and activates muscles all at once. It's efficient. Forces the body to work together. Stabilize against that twist. Builds real world strength.
Right. Okay. Let's drill down into the core again, but maybe more dynamically. The sources really pushed for slow, controlled sit-ups or crunches.
Yeah, and the control part is key if the goal is fire up your metabolism. These dynamic core moves aren't just for show. Slow, controlled movements really target the abs and obliques intensely. That increases the metabolic demand right there. And when you combine these focused moves after the big compound exercises like squats and push-ups, you get this metabolic stacking effect. Keeps your engine running hotter for longer.
Okay, and what about those areas we tend to ignore until they start aching? Glutes, lower back, the sources mentioned controlled leg lifts or the Superman exercise.
Ah, yes, the posterior chain. So important. That's basically everything down the back of your body, hamstrings, glutes, lower back muscles. And when we sit a lot, this whole chain gets weak, neglected. Moves like the Superman make you actively use those back muscles, lifting arms and legs. Strengthening that chain helps posture, protects your spine, prevents common aches. It's fundamental stuff you probably didn't realize you were missing.
So pulling it all together, planks, push-ups, squats, twists, those back exercises. What's the scheduling look like to make 4 weeks realistic? Is it every single day?
No, not quite daily. The plan focuses on maximizing recovery and that afterburn without causing burnout. So the recommendation is usually 4 times a week, each session maybe 20 to 30 minutes. And the key structure is doing it as a circuit. Move from one exercise to the next with minimal rest. That keeps the heart rate up, keeps the metabolism high, makes every minute count toward that transformation goal.
Okay, so for someone juggling a crazy schedule, this sounds potentially manageable. A super efficient, no-gear routine fits into 4 weeks. But like we said, the real win isn't just how you look.
Exactly. It's quality of life, too. That functional strength we talked about. You'll feel it carrying groceries, playing with kids, just moving easier day to day, feeling lighter, more stable. The 4-week target gives you that push, that focus, but the benefits, they stick around long after.
All right, so if you're listening and ready to give this quick, cost-effective transformation a shot, let's quickly recap the main points from the sources.
Sure. So to boil it down, body transformation is accessible. Doesn't need to cost a fortune or take hours. It can happen relatively quickly, yes. Even 4 weeks if you focus on these core bodyweight exercises, done consistently, maybe 4 times a week, in short circus-style workouts. The sources really showed that simplicity and consistency are the magic ingredients for fast results. Removing the barriers makes it doable.
Okay, here's a final thought for you to chew on as you think about trying these simple workouts. Maybe the biggest transformation isn't the one you see in the mirror after 4 wins. Maybe it's the mental discipline you build. The strength it takes to just start, to show up 4 times a week, to choose consistency when excuses are easy. So the question for you is, how does overcoming that first hurdle, just starting and sticking with it, how does that change your whole relationship with fitness, maybe even with commitment itself? That mental muscle. That might be the most valuable thing you build, and it'll serve you long after these 4 weeks are done.